welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline and I make new videos every week, a whole variety of things, lifestyle, beauty, adventure, all sorts of fun stuff. And I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And I'm here on my floor where the lighting is best. I'm gonna do a little makeup today. I felt like doing a good old bronzy summery look and how I like to do my makeup for the summer since we are fully in the swing of things now and it is very hot here. This is kind of what I do, you know, most of the summer, to be honest. Make sure it stays on my face as best as possible. You know, it is what it is, but yeah, so I'm gonna do like a nice warm bronzy look, really nice warm skin and all that fun stuff. So let's just hop right in. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prime my face. I'm gonna use two primers like I normally do. I always like to use a pore filling one and then kind of like a glowy primer. So the first primer I'm gonna use is the Porefessional. It's one of my favorites. It's a classic pore filler. That just works really well and I just really enjoy it. So I'm gonna put that where I normally put it, my forehead, over my nose, and then kind of on my chin. I also think that the pore filling primers just help makeup stick a little bit better. It doesn't let it like sink into your pores obviously as much. I just think in general it makes my makeup look and last a little bit longer. Looks better and lasts longer. All right, and the glowy primer I have been loving lately, and I'm going to use again today is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is just amazing stuff. Honestly, I could probably just put this on my skin and go out the door and it would look beautiful. So I'm gonna put that everywhere. I want my skin to be nice and glowy. I just think it's a nice glow without being like too much. Like it's not glittery or shimmery, but it just gives you this beautiful, I have healthy skin glow. Okay. And then for foundation today, I'm gonna do a combination I've been loving lately. They're both more like closer to the medium side of coverage, but I feel like they're both not too heavy that it feels like you have a ton of makeup on your skin and that it's like sinking in and it's gonna run everywhere and you feel like you're wearing makeup. That's what I like about these two together, and I just think they're really nice. And the main reason I'm mixing them is because the color of my skin currently is in between foundations that I have, and I don't feel like going and getting more foundation just for how tan I am right now. So the two I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation in LN3. This is kind of a lighter shade for me. I definitely probably use this in the winter more than I would in the summer. And then the darker color I'm using is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup, and I have it in the shade Soft Beige, which is just a little bit dark for me. There was one summer I was like super tan. That's when I bought this. So but they make a good combo together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the little stick and just swipe this on kind of more towards the center of my face. And then I'll put the darker color more on the outside. I'm gonna blend them all in together, but yeah, anyway, that's just kind of how I do it. So the Neutrogena is just like a little bottle, so I'm gonna pour some on my hand. And then just use my finger to kind of and then I'm just going to use my Real Technique sponge. It's my favorite, and just blend those all together. So hope you can see, it's just like a little bit more full coverage than like my BB creams and stuff that I like to use, but it doesn't look like a thick layer of foundation. Definitely looks like healthy skin. Just covers up stuff a little bit more. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is concealer. Again, I'm gonna use 2 concealers. One I'm gonna use on my face and cover up like any acne marks and stuff I have. It's the Neutrogena, or the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I have it in the shade 15 Fair. So I'm gonna use that first and kind of mostly get it on these spots where I have a little bit of extra redness. And then again, I'm just gonna use my sponge to blend those spots out. And then the other concealer I'm going to use is my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. You guys know this is my favorite. I'm actually getting close to the bottom, so I might need more soon. I'm just going to use that on my eyes. And I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead and nose as well. I'm going to use a sponge for my forehead and nose and just my finger for under my eyes. And then I'm just gonna use my ring finger to blend this out. I've talked about it before, but I just think it works the best for under my eye. It just helps kind of warm it up and get it into those fine lines that we all have underneath our eyes, and I feel like it just doesn't look quite as cakey and crepey and stuck in those lines when I use my finger. Alright, and then I'm gonna use some cream stuff. I just find that if I layer on the cream and the powders, it lasts a little bit longer, and it just works the best for me. So I'm gonna use a stick foundation for my cream bronzer. This is the Fit Me Shine Free Balance Foundation Stick in the shade Toffee. So I like this because it's a couple shades darker than my skin tone, but it's not too warm toned, so it looks like a good bronzer on my skin. And then again, I'm just going to use my sponge to blend all of that out. So you can see it just kind of warmed up the skin a little bit, gave me a little bit more dimension, but nothing crazy. Just a great way to start that process. So the cream brush I'm going to use is the e.l.f. I think it's called the Beautifully Bare blush. I love this stuff. So I just usually stick my sponge right in there. And then go right on the apples of my cheek. I'm also gonna do a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, kind of where the sun would hit you. And then one of my favorite liquid highlighters for the summer is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. This is in the shade, I think it's Sunlight. The little thing is worn off, but this is a little staple size and it's been lasting me so long. It's just a really, like, you don't need a lot of this stuff at all. So actually I'm gonna just use my fingers. I'm gonna get a little bit on my finger. You really do not need a lot. and just kind of distribute it and just tap. Right on the tops of my cheekbones. You can see you really do not need a lot. It's really strong, but it doesn't look like glittery or anything. It just gives you a beautiful, beautiful glow. All right, so that is all the cream stuff. If this was the winter, I probably would have set this down, but it's the summer, so we're gonna need to set it down. So I'm gonna use my loose powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. It's one of my favorite loose powders, and I find that it works really well in the summer to kind of keep everything locked in place. So I'm just gonna use a big fluffy brush. I'm just gonna start by tapping it on my face. This is how I just like to apply loose powder. I think it works the best for me. I kind of tap it on first and then I'll blend it in. I'm still gonna avoid kind of like the center of my face. I don't tend to like how my under eyes look with powder underneath them, so I just don't powder it. And my nose looks the same way, so I just kind of avoid this area. But everywhere else, I'll just add a little bit of powder, just to make sure everything's set down and won't move. So even though I had all of those cream products on there, I'm gonna still add powder products. I find this layering kind of technique works the best for me to keep my makeup looking good all day. I've actually done this for weddings and stuff before, and just locks everything in place and just helps it all stay looking good all day long. So I'm going to use a powder bronzer as well. This is one of my favorites currently, and I've talked about it a lot recently and I've used it a lot, but this is beautiful for the summer. And yeah, I just love it. That's the reason I keep using it so much. This is the Cover FX monochromatic bronzer duo in suntan bronze. So I just like to mix the two together and just start warming up the skin. I kind of take it a little bit higher on my cheeks just to give me a really nice warm bronze look. This is definitely not a contour color. It's definitely like a true warm tone bronzer. I'm gonna take a little bit down my neck too. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit to my shoulders. Just because of the top I'm wearing. If I wasn't wearing this top, I probably wouldn't do this, but it just looks pretty. Alright, and then I'm gonna use another Cover FX product. The blush in the same line is beautiful. This is the monochromatic blush duo Warm Honey from Cover FX, and again, it's just a beautiful warm summery kind of blush, and I am obsessed with it. I think it's beautiful. So again, I just like to get a little bit of both. Just actually, I'm gonna take my bronzer brush and just kind of hit my nose really quick. I forgot to do that, but just whatever's left over. But that's what the blush looks like. I just think it's really pretty and warm and kind of gives me that beautiful sun-kissed look that I love. And then for highlight, I'm gonna use something that's very similar to the Cover FX liquid custom enhancer drops in terms of color, just to keep it all looking seamless and good. I again have a little sample size of this. This is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Gilded Honey. I know this is a super popular one, but it's beautiful for the summer, and I think it's just such a good golden champagne sort of color. So I'm just gonna take that, hit my tops of my cheekbones. And I already have a good glow going from everything I've already put on, but I just want to, you know, make sure it really look really pretty and glowy and warm. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to hit my eyes with this. Kind of get it all over my eye, up into my brow bone and on my inner corner. Okay, so that is the skin done. It's just really warm and bronzy and beautiful and gold, and I just love this kind of look for the summer where it's really nice and warm and bronzy. Just think it's beautiful. So I'm gonna do my eyes really quick. I'm actually gonna use my bronzer for my eyes. I'm gonna do a really simple, quick look. This is one of my favorite things to do in the summer for my eyes, and I love that this monochromatic duo makes it so easy to do it. So I'm gonna take the matte shade in this duo and just sweep it into my crease. I just have like a fluffy brush. I'm just gonna sweep that in my crease. And you could definitely just do just the matte color in your crease. It'll look really pretty. But I like to add a little bit of the shimmery shade in there too. I'll show you in just a second. I'm also gonna just take a little bit flatter of a brush and sweep that underneath my eye as well, on my lower lash line. And then what I like to do is I like to take a flat shader brush and kind of go into that metallic shade and just pop that right on my eyelid. You can see it just makes a really pretty bronze look, but it's nice that it's kind of monochromatic and pulls everything together. Not have to worry about it all looking right because you use the same bronzer as you did on your eyes, so it just works really well. And then I'm going to take my highlight, and again on a smaller flat shader brush, if I can find one. I'm just going to take that highlight and just stick it right in the very center of my eye, just to give it a little bit of dimension, and again to tie everything together. And I'm just going to take my first fluffy brush and just blend that just a little bit, just to make sure everything looks nice and blended. So guys, that's all I'm going to do. Super simple, but it pulls it all together and makes it look like one uniform look. In my opinion, I just think it's a really pretty, simple look for the summer. I just love it. It also makes my blue eyes pop, which I'm always for. So I'm gonna do my brows next. Actually, do I want to add liner? I was gonna add some chocolate liner, but I think yeah, let's do it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of eyeliner. This is the Clinique Quick Liner for Eyes. Oh, it's broken. Maybe I'm not doing this. No, it should be fine. And I have it in dark chocolate, so I'm just gonna kind of smudge that on my upper lash line, just as close to the lashes that I can get it, just to give the eyelashes a little bit of dimension, just a little bit of depth at the base. Nothing crazy. And just see, it just defines it a little bit better. I don't always do liner, but today's feeling it. So yeah, nothing crazy, no wing or anything, just a little bit of liner just to define the lash line. I think that looks really nice. So now I'm gonna move on to brows. I'm gonna use my NYX eyebrow powder pencil. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil. I'm gonna brush through the brows really quick. Still trying to let them grow out a little bit. I think they're looking pretty good. The ends are definitely looking fuller, which is nice. I think they look good. I'm pretty happy with them. So since they're pretty full, I'm just gonna fill in any sparse areas I have, so not too much. And I usually like to fill just like the back end of my brow, because my front of my brow is actually pretty full and like gradient like, so I don't try to fill in it too much. I don't want to add too much color in my front, but like I have like a little bald spot right there that I like to fill in. But in general, I try to keep the front of my brow pretty free of product, like color product. I'm gonna use the spoolie again, just brush through them. All right, so that's all the powder products. I'm gonna set this down. I'm gonna use the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is my favorite setting spray for the summer. I just think it holds everything really well. It just makes your makeup last longer. There's a reason it's a cult favorite, and it's just because it works really, really well. And I really do think it helps make my makeup last longer, so I am all for it. So I'm just gonna use a liberal amount, like a lot of it. That's how I do. Yeah. And I like to fan it dry. I don't know if it helps at all, but in my mind it does. Okay, last few steps, we're almost there. So I'm gonna set my brows down with my NYX Control Freak. Just like this one, it's clear, it works really well, it holds my brows in place, and I just enjoy it. And then for my lashes today, I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Voluminous. This is the waterproof one, and I find that really important for me in the summer. So I'm just gonna add some of this to my upper and lower lash line. All right, so those are the lashes. And then my very last step is a lip gloss. A lot of times I'll just put on a clear gloss or like Aquaphor or something like that. Just what I like. I don't feel the need to do a crazy color lipstick all the time. And today I'm just gonna do a nude gloss. This is one of my favorite nude glosses. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in Coffee, and I just think it's a really pretty color. But it's not too overwhelming. So I just put a little bit on my bottom lip and then rub my lips together. And I find that works best for me. I just think it's a really pretty color and pulls the whole look together. So that's the whole look. I just think it's really pretty and warm and glowy, like I said, and it's just how I like to do my makeup in the summer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have certain glowy, bronzy, warm products that you love to use in the summer, let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you want to join our little adventure family here, and give this video a like, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. So I will see you in my next adventure. Bye.